Well, here it is, October 20th, 2016. Today is my 40th birthday. I'm 40 years old. Start things off, I'm going to have a little birthday beer. And I'm going to share some of my thoughts after 40 years on planet Earth. We're going to go outside and sit on the back patio. It'll be nice. Come on, Ollie. That's my dog. His name's Ollie, for those of you that don't know. So, 40 years, planet Earth. Just set this up here. Yeah. So I would say that lately things have been going pretty good for me. After about 5 years in Canada, I left the video game industry after 10 years or so of my life spent in video games. And I moved back to California, where, as you can see, it's the middle of October and it's probably about 90 degrees right now, and it's nice. There's no snow, but I'm really glad for the experiences that I had in Canada, and I think that I'm always going to carry those with me for as long as I live. I tried to learn another language. I was maybe not completely successful, but considering that when I first moved to Canada, I didn't speak French at all. In fact, French was sort of like Latin or something like that in California. Like, it's just a language you would never need to know. And so, I think that in a lot of ways that helped me to grow and to understand what it's like to be in a culture that's totally different from your own, and to not speak the primary language natively, and the sorts of situations that you can get in, which is really interesting after having lived in California for 15 years, where California is very bilingual as well, but obviously the dominant language is English, which is the language that I speak. And despite the fact that I took Spanish in high school and college, my Spanish is probably worse than my French. It's terrible. And, like, I worked in Starbucks and I worked in retail, and I had plenty of opportunities where I spoke to people who didn't speak English. And now that I've been on the other side of that, I really wish that I could speak Spanish better and that I was able to speak Spanish better. And that's just kind of an example of one of the things that my time in Canada is going to have left me with and has made me think about. And I think that's a good example of, I've been driving around today. I took the dog to get groomed. I got a haircut. And while I was sitting in traffic, I was really kind of reflecting on what it means to turn 40 and have lived that long and have had all the experiences that I have had, and to think about what else I want to do with whatever time I have on the planet and the things that I've accomplished. And when I think back over my life, I think about things like my friends in drama in high school, my friends like Matt Diaz. I have no idea where he is, but my friendship and my relationship with him really taught me about the experience of being homosexual and what that's like. And I think now, whenever I deal with anybody who is going through difficulty because of that, I draw on those relationships that I had with him and my friendship that I had with him, and the fact that seeing everything that he went through really made me empathize with that and to want to be a part of helping anyone else who was going through something similar to that. Um, I think about my time in college and all my friends in college and all the amazing friends that I still have to this day, and some of whom I don't see as much as others, but I still think about all the time. I think about John Lichtenstein all the time. I wonder what the heck is going on with him. I think about, obviously, my close friends like Jeff and Jerry, who I still see, but then I also think about people that I hardly ever see, like people that I may never see again, like Dan Nelson, like I wonder what's going on with him and how life is in New York City. And I think very fondly about all the different performances I did with everybody while I was there, and I really miss acting in my life, but I didn't really find it to be a career that was fulfilling once I got to Los Angeles. And I'd be happy to do it again as a hobby, but it just really was not something that I wanted to pursue as a lifetime goal, because just in my own personal experience, I didn't find that once I got here, the fact that it's sort of like a business, I just wasn't passionate enough about it to put it before everything else in my life. So, but that's another example of like something that I went through in my life that made me the person that I am, and I'm glad that I am the person that I am. And I'll always carry those experiences with me, and I'll cherish them. But then that kind of brings me to my time in video games, and also meeting my wife, which happened right after college. And she's really been just amazing to me. She's been the greatest gift that I could ever have. She's been the greatest partner I could ever have. She's been there for me through thick and thin, and all of our wonderful adventures and our terrible tragedies. And I just really hope that she feels like I provide her with the same kind of support that she provides me, because, for example, she really helped me decide to go into video games when I was first thinking about it and having kind of a mid-20s crisis about not being an actor anymore, and then going into video games. And she really supported me through that and has always been there for me. And I just really love you, Becca, and I think that I'm glad that you've been here to share with me everything that we've had together. But it's not just her that I'm thankful for. I have a fantastic family, and my family in general has been through a lot. We've been through divorce, and we've been through death, and we've been through things that all families go through, But I don't have a really huge family. I'm not the kind of person that has lots of cousins and all this kind of stuff. And so really my nuclear family is important to me because they're really all I have. In particular, my brothers, who I think more than anyone in the world really understand me, because they've been through all the same things that I have, and they understand what our life was like because they were there. My mom, who was always extremely supportive of me, always, was honest with me, and really taught me a lot about empathizing with people and understanding people, and not being hypercritical of people, and in a lot of ways really influenced me. And my dad, who is a very very intelligent guy, and I would think he would think of himself as not extremely emotional, but he is very emotional in his own way. And he's given me a lot of things that I carry with me, like treating people with the benefit of the doubt, and also with just generally trying to enjoy life despite the fact that it might not be exactly what you want it to be. Uh, my stepdad Jim, we've been through a lot, and the times that we've known each other, it's almost been 20 years now, probably more than that. You've really put up with me, and I've really put up with you, and I'm really glad that you're in my life. You have definitely made mom happy, and I think that, you know, you really helped keep the family together, and I think that, we're all richer for having known you, and I appreciate that. I think that for me, just as much as my family, my friends are extremely important. And I think that both Becca and I consider our friends our family, and we have very many friends whom we are very close to. And in some ways, an interesting thing I ran into in Canada was I found that sometimes Becca and I made friends a little bit more intensely than I think people there were expecting or were used to. And it was interesting because I think to Becca and I in California, we have always felt a very strong familial bond with our close friends. And I think in Canada, that was a little weird because we knew a lot of people that still had pretty close ties to their families, and so they weren't necessarily expecting the kind of, I don't know, intensity or something like that. But despite that, we still made so many friends. I really think about Canada and Montreal and all the people I know there all the time. And I find myself surprisingly homesick for it. Like, I really thought I was just going to leave and never look back. And I really don't feel that way. I really do miss it. A lot of things about it. And in particular, my friendships there and the people that are there. And I hope to go back and see you all very soon. But I have some other friends here in California that have been my friends forever, or at least seemingly. Patrick, my friend from college, who I've known longer, more than half my life. Jason, who's my bandmate and my best friend. And it's really weird. I never would have anticipated him when we first met, but he and I just really are like brothers. I think he's probably the closest I have to a brother outside of my actual brothers. Aaron, you know, I'm really glad that we've been able to remain friends through all of our crazy web of girlfriends and weird friends and fallings in and fallings out. But I really am glad to call you my friend, and I'm really happy to have gotten to know you over my time here in LA. And I think that when I look at the world and the way things are today, I get a little frustrated because I feel like when I was in my 20s, I felt like things were only going to get better. And I think that you have this thing that you go through, or at least I have as you get older, where I'll use a microwave as an example. Like, I bought my first microwave when I was like 22. And at the time you think, well, this is pretty expensive, but now I own a microwave and I'm never going to have to buy a microwave again, and this is my microwave. And then in about 5 or 6 years, your microwave breaks, and then you're in the same position and you're buying another microwave, and you're thinking to yourself, fuck, I had to buy another goddamn microwave. And now everything I own is like this, and nothing is permanent, and some things are regressive, you know? And I look at things going on in American society and the world and politics, and I feel sort of the same way. I sort of am like amazed that people are still fighting over these issues that just seem like plague on human decency. And so I guess that, as I'm getting older, I'm really trying to hold on to my positivity and my sense of things getting better and working towards something and being progressive and open-minded and understanding and embracing diversity, because I think that's extremely important. And I just want to say thanks to everyone in my life and everyone that I've shared my life with over the last 40 years. And if I forgot to mention you by name, please know that I love you and I'm sorry. I've gotten almost 100 people on my Facebook page saying happy birthday, people I haven't talked to for years, and I miss you all, and I hope one day to see you again. And yeah, I hope that wherever you are out there, life is treating you kindly and that you don't want for too much. So anyway, those are my thoughts, my rambling birthday thoughts. And I haven't even had a beer yet. I opened it, I didn't even drink it. So this is just me rambling. And yeah, that's it. I'll see you when I turn 60. All right, bye.